Hey guys, Nuan here with Movie Slinger Reviews. Now I understand these two movies have been out for a while, but if you haven't watched them and you're trying to decide which one to check out this weekend, well, allow me to help you make this choice. Let's start with Yesterday, written by Richard Curtis and directed by Danny Boyle. Yesterday is the story of a young, struggling singer-songwriter Jack Malik. The only people that show up at his gigs are his friends. I can tell you from first-hand experience that I know exactly what this guy felt like. I have been in his shoes, so this part of the story is definitely something very close to my heart. And the filmmakers got it right. The difficulty and frustration of getting people to just listen to your own music? Yeah, I know what that's like. So one day, Jack feels like giving up on his dreams when there's a massive global blackout and he gets hit by a bus. He wakes up in hospital and after a while realizes that people don't remember who the Beatles are. The entire world has forgotten the Beatles. Everyone except Jack, of course. So Jack starts playing Beatles songs and all his dreams come true. Or do they? As Jack becomes a superstar, the relationship with his longtime friend and manager Ellie starts to get strained. Now on the surface, this might seem like a fairly generic story. This sort of struggle always happens in music biopics, right? But Yesterday goes beyond all that formulaic crap I'm so tired of seeing. There's no drug problems, no love affairs, nobody's dying from a sickness, Jack doesn't have a problem with his parents, he doesn't have his entire life flash before his eyes while he's getting ready for the show at Wembley Stadium. Instead, the problems that face our protagonist are all fresh and creative. While everybody else has forgotten the Beatles, Jack still remembers them, so he feels this immense guilt for stealing their songs. Everybody treats him like a genius, and yet deep down, he knows he's not that talented. The song challenge with Ed Sheeran was a good way of showing this. I also like the romantic subplot with Ellie. Himesh Patel and Lily James were really cute together and gave strong performances. I like how what's tearing them apart are the songs that are making Jack popular. Because some of the songs are about girls and yet he doesn't have an explanation for writing them. So that was brilliant. One of the major elements of the movie is the struggle to preserve music. Jack is obviously human and so he can't remember all the songs. It was interesting how they played that into the story. And this is sort of a real problem. Kids today may not be aware of music from the 60s. People are forgetting all these classic rock songs. Yesterday is not a fantasy movie. It is simply an exaggeration of a real problem. There's also two strangers that come after Jack. I don't want to spoil this, but it added some suspense because you're not sure who they are or why they're after him. And I absolutely loved how they ended this part of the plot. The scene at the beach was a perfect tribute for the Beatles. The supporting characters were really funny. Joel Fry, who plays Jack's roadie, and Kate McKinnon, who plays Jack's agent, were hilarious. Kate McKinnon stole every scene she's in. She was the perfect douchebag agent. Like they say in School of Rock, she is the man. Ed Sheeran plays himself and was surprisingly entertaining to watch. I bet you'll never guess what his mobile phone ringtone is. I love the scene where he shows up at Jack's house. Jack starts geeking out, but his parents don't realize there's a celebrity in their house. That was funny. Also, the two parents were fun too. They were such perfect South Asian parents. And my favorite scene with them is when Jack starts playing Let It Be for the first time and they keep interrupting. It was hilarious. This entire movie is hilarious from start to finish. There wasn't a single dull moment. There wasn't a single joke that didn't land. The filmmakers poke fun at pretty much everything wrong with modern pop music. Everything from how record labels are only interested in beautiful faces, how marketing teams try to promote music albums, and Cardie B. So, if you're annoyed by what's playing on the radio these days, you'll have a good laugh. Yesterday is a visually stunning movie at times. There's this really psychedelic scene using giant LED screens that show Jack's rise in popularity. That was typical Danny Boyle. The editing was spot on, it was energetic but controlled, and you can't expect anything less from Boyle's Academy Award-winning partner in crime, John Harris. Now, before I give my rating and recommendation for Yesterday, let's talk about The Lion King. Should you watch it? No. Okay, bye. What, you're still here? What do you want? You want an explanation? Okay, here goes. The lions in this movie have no personality. Mufasa, Scar, Simba, and Nala, the four main characters, all look dull and lifeless. Gone are the distinct smiles and adorable expressions that made the animated characters so charming and lovable. The supporting characters like Pumbaa, Timon, the hyenas, and Zazu were the only characters that had energetic enough personalities to break through the constraints that were hampering the performances of the lion characters. And these constraints are totally self-imposed, driven by a creative decision by the filmmakers to have realistic-looking lions. But why? What is the point of hiring talented actors like Chiwetel Ejiofor or James Earl Jones if you're just gonna let their voices sound like a Discovery Channel voiceover while their characters walk around with zero facial expressions and looking like they're falling asleep? Sure, the CGI looks great and the film is entertaining when Pumbaa and Timon are on screen, but this is not Hakuna Matata, The Adventures of Pumbaa and Timon. This is The Lion King. If the lions look bored to death, it's no fun at all. And it's not like the story offers anything new. It's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original. The only addition is a scene that shows why Nala ran away looking for help. Yeah, because that's what was missing from the original, right? Look, this is not the worst movie ever made, and I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for the CGI, the supporting characters, and John Oliver's delightfully funny voice. But if you really want to watch a Lion King movie this weekend, don't watch this. Instead, let me offer you a few better options. Option 1. Stay at home and watch the original 1994 animated classic, The Lion King. It's still as good as you remember. Watch it and enjoy. This is not nostalgia talking. I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but the animation is gorgeous, the characters are charming, and it's better than the remake in every way. Option 2. Stay at home and watch Black Panther, the only true live-action remake of The Lion King. And option 3, if you really want to watch a movie in theaters this weekend, then watch Yesterday. This movie was everything I've been missing this year. A fresh original film that's not a sequel or a prequel or part of a billion-dollar superhero franchise. A story of a relatable protagonist, a fun cast of supporting characters, a great comedy which not only utilizes Beatles songs in a creative way, it also pays homage to them. All of this in one movie?
Hard to imagine.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
I'm gonna give Yesterday a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. I don't want to see music biopics anymore. I want to see more films try new ideas like Yesterday. It's my favorite movie of 2019 so far. If you love the Beatles, watch this movie. Even if you don't love the Beatles, let's say you love Coldplay, Oasis, Metallica, Bon Jovi, or even Ed Sheeran, chances are these artists were probably inspired by the Beatles at some point in their lives. You owe it to yourself to check this movie out. Go watch it. If your kids are old enough, take them with you. Teach them about one of the greatest bands in the history of the planet. Tell them about the Beatles. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.